Hello, greetings. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I have kind of been a stranger recently. I have not been posting on YouTube. I've been mostly posting on Patreon and a little bit on Instagram, although I haven't even been posting that much on Instagram recently. So, thank you for bearing with me. I'm glad to be back bringing you this tarot card reading. Today we're going to be using the Traditional Manga Tarot, which has some very good traditional depictions of the cards, and so it's a good card deck for reading fairly easily, which I like. I was trying to do some readings a couple nights ago, just for fun. I was trying to do all 78 cards in a gigantic reading, and I'm not good at that yet, so I'm going to keep practicing that. So for today's reading, I have 9 cards. The 9th card is going to be the overall theme for the reading. This is a general reading, of course. So the 9th card is the theme, and then we're going to go through the other 8 and see what kind of topics and aspects come up. Yeah, let's just jump into it. Oh, wow. So the theme is conflict and arguments and not agreeing. It's like a huge disagreement, right? Yeah, so something is not working out. There's an aspect of your life that will not be will not give you a sense of satisfaction. There's something where there's a person or a group or maybe your workplace, and you are not okay with it. You completely have your own opinion, and you're not seeing eye to eye with these people, and it's a problem, and no one is backing down. So that's pretty interesting. Okay, let's look at the other 8 cards to see what other aspects of this come up. Interesting. We've got 9 of Wands. Feeling like you're at a place in your life where you have paid your dues, basically. Like, you can see most depictions of this card. I don't know if you can see it, but he has a little bit of a wound on his forehead. So the idea is, his leg is hurt too. So he's been through some stuff. This is the character represents you. You've been through some stuff, and you have become wiser and more mature through this. And you're not resentful, but you have learned some important lessons, which does go back to the 5 of Wands. Like, you know that you're not going to put up with things that are less than you deserve. Interesting. Then we've got 6 of Swords. I just did a reading for Patreon, and 5 of Wands did not come up, but 9 of Wands and 6 of Swords did come up in the reading I just did for Patreon. So that's pretty interesting. So, it's interesting. Okay, 6 of Swords is usually everyone is facing away from the front of the card. You can see their backs, but you can still see the people in this depiction of the card, but the person who's steering the boat is facing away. So that's kind of different. So, in the Patreon reading, I said that 6 of Swords meant that you have to leave something behind, that you can't be fixed, and you're feeling weird about it because you don't want to admit that something didn't work out, and you have to cross the river and not look back, and it's not really that fun. It's a bad situation. But in this deck, it's looking a little bit different. To me, this is more about youth. You see, these are 2 kids who are being taken to a different place. So it's about having to be open and trusting in your youth. And now you're kind of older and wiser, but you've also paid your dues. So there's a sense of vulnerability and innocence that you lost at some point in young adulthood and adulthood. Let's look at the next card. Okay, yeah, so 9 of Swords. You lost this important part of yourself, this emotional vulnerability. Life happened, and now you are dealing with the fallout from all those emotions, like everything that you've been through. This conflict with the 5 of Wands is happening, and then it's been really tough. So it's definitely emotional strife. You are not feeling your best. It's like it's a time of basically like reckoning in some way, a time to I don't know, make some important personal decisions, I think, about how you're going to move forward in the way that's best for you. That's really interesting. Okay, so I think this goes with what I was just saying. So I said how to move forward in the way that's best for you. And here we go with Knight of Pentacles. So this is about getting really strong in your sense of who you are. Like maybe you couldn't do that when you were younger, when you were a kid or a teenager. It was out of your hands. You weren't steering the boat at that age. And you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot of emotional upheaval. But Knight of Pentacles is here to show you that you are aligned and grounded in your own identity and who you really are, and you are going to be able to move forward because of that strength you have, your own integrity, your own strength, and your own strong sense of who you are. Even though it was really hard to get to this point in your adulthood, you have gained that emotional maturity that can see you through to the next era of your life. Oh, the World card. So I think all of this... Okay, my phone's ringing. I'm just going to ignore it. All of this emotional healing, this emotional turmoil that happened, then reaching this place where you can move on to the next stage of your life, this is going to actually shift your perception of the world. You've had a certain... Sorry, my phone is making a weird buzzing noise. You've had a certain view of the world based on ideas that were not necessarily skewed, but they were... you're kind of like wary. You were wary of all that you had seen and all you had been through. And so you weren't able to have a clear perception of the world because you were just trying to get through everything. You were just trying to basically like keep your head above water in different ways. But once you have that shift with the Knight of Pentacles, now you're able to have clarity in how you see the world. And that's really beautiful because you will be more of a have a sense of your own capability, your confidence, and your the way you see the world will open up opportunities for you that you couldn't see before because you were dealing with your own journey and on such an emotional and a sad level. You've seen those dark days, you've seen those dark nights of the soul periods of your life, but now with these shifts you're creating, you are able to see the world with greater clarity, with new eyes. Okay, so now for something completely different. So somehow we see the world and then we continue and we have Four of Pentacles. So something you don't want to let go of. It doesn't have to be financially, but it could be. So as you're shifting your relationship with the world, be careful that you are having that sense of give and take, giving and receiving, like this. Giving and receiving. That's how I think of some of these cards because you can see this person's kind of a miser. He is holding on to everything he's got. He's not doing that well personally. So, I mean, it's almost like pointing back to the Nine of Swords energy, but it's like it's developed in this weird way potentially. So I think the Four of Pentacles is just coming up to make sure as you're shifting your focus and your perception of the world around you, just be a little bit careful that you are expanding in different ways and not shutting down. And I usually see this card as a card of not being generous, but I don't think it has to be like that. In this case, I think with the world, it's just showing you if you want to be open to those opportunities I was talking about with that greater sense of clarity about the world, make sure you're not holding back or shutting down in some way. Okay, let's look at the last two cards together so we just get a sense of it. Ooh, they're really good. Okay, Seven of Pentacles and Nine of Cups. We went on this huge journey. You know, you've been on your life path. You've been from Five of Wands. You've been through a lot, and you felt all those emotions. But here we are, and it's not the end of your journey, but it's a good part of your journey. Seven of Pentacles and Nine of Cups. It's showing emotional maturity, and you are able now, with this clarity about the world and your surroundings, you are able to create exactly what you want in your life. Okay, so you weren't able to do that before with that Six of Swords, being a kid, having that emotional vulnerability, having to heal from those emotional wounds and those traumas. But on that healing journey, you gained a lot. And so you are at a point in this new era of your life, you are able to create and grow exactly what you want. And it's really exciting. I'm really excited for you. I know it's like, so everywhere across the world, we've all been through these very almost like bewildering life path journeys. It's been, I know mine has been challenging, like almost beyond belief. It's been challenging at different points. I know all of our paths are unique, but I know we're all faced with something that just like brings us to this basically, you know, different types of dark nights of the soul, where you're just really basically suffering and trying to grapple with everything. But I'm really glad that this whole story unfolding through the tarot cards is showing us that we have that ability to move forward and completely shift the way that we are living. And then we've got that Seven of Pentacles energy that reminds us of the ability we have to create and craft our life in this really, really beautiful way. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really happy to start bringing back the tarot and oracle card readings for YouTube. I do offer personal readings. My regular reading is $45, and what you do is just message me, email me if you're interested in a reading, and we can kind of like chat through email about what are some of the things on your mind and just what you're looking for in a reading. So the $45 reading is pretty massive. I just do this huge intuitive reading for you. It usually ends up being like 40 minutes. I create a video for you, and then I just email it to you, and then you can watch it whenever you want. So it's asynchronous. You don't have to set up a time. I usually would be able to get it to you in less than a week, usually just a couple business days. So it's a $45 reading. That's the normal one. If you're kind of just want to feel it out and you're not sure, if you want a huge reading, I offer a reading that's between 10 and 15 minutes as a video, and that's just $25. So what happens is you would email me, and we have a little back and forth about what you're looking for, and then I usually just send a PayPal invoice, because that's pretty easy these days. And like I said, like there's no appointment or time to set up, because I would create the video for you, and it's really fun. I have a lot of fun with it. It's really fun to share life path ideas and this intuition. I try to make all of my readings really uplifting, not to sugarcoat anything, but you know, I'm an optimist, so I want to share my optimism with you. Anyway, so more to come in future videos. And again, if you liked these cards, you can get this deck. It's called Traditional Manga Tarot. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.